My name is Ethan, and I feel compelled to share a deeply unsettling story that unfolded between 2005 and 2007 in the depths of Dismal Swamp State Park. This remote location in North Carolina, known for its scenic canal and extensive trails, concealed a dark secret that shook me to the core. As an assistant park ranger, I had spent countless hours patrolling the serene and seemingly peaceful terrain. But in the late summer of 2005, a series of inexplicable incidents began to unravel the tranquility, casting a shadow over the park's reputation. It all started with a distress call from my colleague, Dr. Emily Lawson. Campers had gone missing in a secluded area of the park, prompting us to launch an urgent investigation. When we arrived at the site, the scene before us was one of horror and violence. Tents were stained with blood, and the remnants of a vicious struggle were scattered about. Driven by a mix of curiosity and concern, we ventured deeper into the wilderness, pushing through dense undergrowth and following the faint trails left behind by the missing campers. Our grim exploration led us to a grisly discovery, a haunting tableau of human remains concealed amongst the foliage. The bodies were torn asunder in a manner that defied any rational explanation, leaving us shaken and bewildered. Collecting DNA samples from the scene, we hoped for answers, but they only deepened the enigma. The genetic evidence pointed to an unknown species, neither bear nor wolf, baffling both our scientific understanding and the limits of our imaginations. As our investigation unfolded, whispers circulated among the locals, recounting sightings of a colossal bipedal creature lurking in the depths of the park. Witnesses described piercing, glowing eyes that seemed to emanate an otherworldly malevolence. The mere thought of such a creature struck fear into the hearts of those who crossed its path, challenging their very notions of reality. Amidst these accounts of terror, one incident stood out with stark brutality. A farmer named Mr. Jenkins, a humble man tending to his livestock near the forest's edge, fell victim to a relentless onslaught. The creature, driven by an insatiable hunger for violence, tore him limb from limb, leaving behind a scene of unimaginable carnage. Mr. Jenkins became another casualty, his fate sealed by the unfathomable horror lurking within the park's boundaries. Haunted by these frightening events, Dr. Lawson and I embarked on a perilous quest to expose the truth and bring an end to the terror that plagued Dismal Swamp State Park. As we searched for answers, Dr. Lawson and I ventured beyond the boundaries of Dismal Swamp State Park. We explored forgotten archives where old manuscripts hinted at the park's eerie past. Within the dusty libraries, we discovered accounts of unexplained events that had troubled the area for centuries. One tale spoke of a group of early settlers who vanished without a trace, their homes abandoned, and their belongings left behind as if time had frozen. Another account detailed a series of inexplicable lights dancing amidst the trees, captivating witnesses and leaving them bewildered and filled with unease. Among the faded records, we uncovered stories of peculiar disappearances. Families, friends, and even solitary wanderers would set foot into the park's depths, only to vanish without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. These vanishings defied logical explanation, fueling speculation and fear within the local community. Whispers of spectral figures roaming the park at night reached our ears. Witnesses recounted encounters with shadowy apparitions, their presence stirring a primal fear that chilled the bones. Some claimed to have heard haunting voices echoing through the dense fog, speaking in long-forgotten tongues that sent shivers down the spine. Legends emerged from the depths of folklore, recounting the tale of a fearsome creature that stalked the park's undergrowth. It was described as a monstrous being with glowing eyes, possessing an unearthly strength and an insatiable hunger for human flesh. The mere mention of this creature was enough to strike fear into the hearts of those who knew its name. These unexplained events had cast a long, dark shadow over the region, instilling a sense of trepidation that seeped into the very fabric of everyday life. Stories passed down through generations warned against venturing too deep into the park, cautioning that those who dared to tread the forbidden paths risked encountering horrors beyond comprehension. As we uncovered these accounts, we realized that the unexplained events were not isolated incidents, but part of a pattern that had plagued Dismal Swamp State Park for ages. The park held secrets that defied rational explanation, challenged our understanding of the natural world, and threatened to unravel the fabric of our sanity. Armed with this newfound knowledge, We knew that our journey to uncover the truth behind these unexplained events would lead us into the heart of darkness itself. It was a daunting prospect, but our determination remained unyielding. We steeled ourselves for what lay ahead, ready to face the inexplicable and confront the malevolent forces that had tormented the park and its inhabitants for far too long. Piece by piece, we uncovered a narrative spanning centuries. The park's history revealed ancient rituals performed by a secretive cult, their intentions cloaked in darkness. These revelations portrayed a creature summoned from forgotten tales with a thirst for human suffering. As we delved deeper into the dusty annals of history, piece by piece, a chilling narrative spanning centuries emerged. The park's hidden past slowly unraveled before us, exposing a harrowing tapestry of ancient rituals and the shadowy presence that lurked within Dismal Swamp State Park. The historical records unveiled accounts of a clandestine cult that had once inhabited the region, their rituals steeped in malevolence and darkness. These secretive gatherings were shrouded in mystery, with the cult members venturing deep into the heart of the park to perform their macabre ceremonies. The intentions of this enigmatic cult remained veiled in obscurity, obscured by the passage of time and the fading ink of ancient manuscripts. But as we pieced together the fragments of information, a sinister pattern began to emerge. The rituals appeared to be centered around summoning a malevolent entity, a creature of unfathomable power and an insatiable thirst for human suffering. Things were starting to make sense. These rituals, carried out in hidden groves and long-forgotten clearings, seemed to serve as offerings to appease the dark force within the park. The details of the ceremonies were described in cryptic terms, hinting at blood sacrifices and the invocation of ancient incantations designed to draw forth the malevolent entity. As the centuries passed, the cult's influence waned, and the rituals gradually faded into the mists of time. Yet the residual energy of these dark practices continued to linger within the very fabric of the park, leaving behind a palpable sense of foreboding and a connection to the supernatural realm. This monstrous entity, whose origins lay in the annals of time, defied comprehension. It transcended the boundaries of the natural world, blurring the lines between nightmare and reality. It existed in the realm of ancient folklore and forgotten demons, its essence permeating the park's very essence. Armed with this knowledge, we prepared ourselves for the ultimate confrontation, knowing that banishing this entity would require unraveling the mysteries of the cult's ancient rituals. It would demand a delicate balance of courage, resilience, and a deep understanding of the forces at play. Little did we know the horrors that awaited us as we prepared to face the embodiment of darkness itself. As we ventured deeper into the depths of Dismal Swamp State Park, the path before us became treacherous, shrouded in an otherworldly darkness that seemed to consume the very essence of light. Guided by the remnants of the cult's rituals, we sought out the sacred sites where the ancient ceremonies had taken place. We followed cryptic symbols etched into the bark of trees and traced fading sigils carved into long-forgotten stones. Armed with the knowledge we had acquired and fortified by our unwavering determination, we initiated the final phase of our plan. We meticulously reconstructed the elements of the forgotten rituals, aligning the symbols and reciting the incantations that had echoed through the centuries. The atmosphere shifted as if the very fabric of reality quivered with anticipation. A chill wind whistled through the trees, carrying with it a chorus of whispers that seemed to emanate from the shadows themselves. We steeled ourselves, bracing for the emergence of the creature. And then it appeared. A towering figure emerged from the darkness, its form grotesque and twisted. Glowing eyes fixated upon us with an insatiable hunger that sent shivers down our spines. It was a monstrous being, a manifestation of nightmares and ancient evils made flesh. With our hearts pounding in our chests, we engaged in a fierce battle, our weapons clashing against the entity's formidable strength. Every strike reverberated with the weight of centuries of suffering. Each blow was an attempt to sever the entity's hold on the park and its tormented souls. The clash between light and darkness raged on, the battle reaching a crescendo that seemed to shake the very foundations of existence. As the malevolent creature roared with an otherworldly fury, we summoned the last shreds of our courage and channeled the collective strength of those who had fallen victim to its reign of terror. In a final act of desperation, we unleashed a torrent of pure light, a concentrated force of hope and resilience. The blinding radiance engulfed the creature, pushing back its malevolence and weakening its hold on the park. For a moment, it seemed as though we had succeeded. The entity writhed and recoiled, its form flickering and dissipating amidst the radiant onslaught. We dared to believe that victory was within our grasp. But in a shocking turn of events, the creature summoned a surge of dark energy, counteracting the light with a force that left us reeling. The battle escalated into a cataclysmic clash of power, unleashing chaos and destruction upon the park. We fought valiantly, our every strike fueled by determination and the desire to protect the innocent. But the entity, now infused with a newfound fury, retaliated with unparalleled strength. It lashed out with tendrils of darkness, obliterating trees and tearing apart the very fabric of the land. As the battle raged on, we realized with a heavy heart that victory might elude us. The entity possessed an uncanny resilience, drawing strength from the pain and fear that permeated the park. Its malevolence seemed boundless, a force too great for us to overcome. We rallied our forces with grim determination and strategized for a final assault. We poured every ounce of energy and skill into our attacks, aiming to weaken the creature and create an opportunity to vanquish it once and for all. Yet despite our efforts, the entity proved elusive, slipping through our grasp like a shadow. It moved with a supernatural agility, evading our strikes and retaliating with devastating force. The battle became a deadly dance, a struggle for survival against an adversary whose power seemed inexhaustible. With each passing moment, it became clear that our chances of victory were diminishing. Exhaustion weighed heavy on our bodies, and despair began to take hold of our spirits. Sensing our weariness, the creature seized the opportunity to strike back with a ferocity that shattered our defenses. In a final desperate attempt to turn the tide, we unleashed a barrage of elemental forces hoping to overwhelm the entity. But our attack fell short, thwarted by its unyielding resilience. Sensing our vulnerability, the creature let out a piercing shriek that echoed through the park, a haunting testament to its triumph. And then the creature simply vanished into the depths of the park, leaving behind a wake of destruction and shattered hopes. We stood there, battered and bruised, staring at the aftermath of our battle, a mix of determination and resignation etched upon our faces. Though the creature had escaped, we refused to accept defeat. We pledged to remain vigilant, to continue the fight against the force that haunted Dismal Swamp State Park. We would regroup, gather our strengths, and refine our strategies for the next encounter. As we left the battlefield, a bittersweet resolve burned within our hearts. The battle may have been lost, but our determination to protect the park and its inhabitants remained unyielding. We would never surrender to the darkness that threatened to consume the land.
Want to hear more about what happened at Dismal State Park? Please leave us a comment. Please also like and subscribe. Thanks, and we will see you next time.